This is MRR Collects. Tonight I thought I'd flip through some of my Michael Jordan cards. Uh, I am going to let you know a big secret. I am not a huge basketball fan. I, uh, I tend to resemble more of a grizzly bear than any kind of thing with any kind of vertical jump at all. But Michael Jordan is a pretty much universal. I was at my grandparents in 1987. I'm pretty sure that was the year. It seemed like it was. Uh, Anyways, we were there the day that Michael Jordan took off from the free throw line, and during the slam dunk competition, and it was basically one of those moments where the sporting world had changed forever, and it was literally that. It was definitely talk at the cooler the next day, uh, or when we got back to work. But this one's later in the set. This is more the holofoil, so this is a higher, and it's an insert. And on this set, they were Ovation was the, I believe they're an Upper Deck brand, but it was Ovation, so it was a retail only set, which I think is kind of interesting because a lot of the people that are investing or um, speculating tend to shy away from retail brands. My opinion is that in the end, they end up not having those cards because they shunned them, and it's like, well, they're not collector quality. Well, everything's collector quality. These decks, even the cheap decks, well, those are the ones that disappear because you gave them, you gave those cards to your kids. But anywho, most of these are, I'd say the vast majority, if not all of them, I pulled out of packs myself, and they're just the kind of the funny thing is whether you spend $100 on a pack of cards or $1.50, the photographers are the same. You're not, you're really not getting any worse photography as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they're all nice action shots of what's going on, and usually of Michael flying. So just going to flip through here and show you about 30 of them. Of course, I don't have the collection really sorted. The thing about collecting sports cards is that there's so much excess of, box after box of the players that either aren't really marketable, but you got to keep them because somebody does something fantastic 10 years in their career, then they become valuable. I do. This is a Collector's Choice. It was a cheap brand, pretty much retail, and I thought it was kind of fun because they still did stickers. And so this is a sticker out of, I think, either 96, 97, 98, late 90s in there. But I have another one. I don't know, I kind of like it. And also with the Brandy, this is an Upper Deck. But it has the mini cards, the three set, but it's basically a team card. And this one, I believe, came in a pack that was gold foil. So the regular ones that you got in packs usually didn't have the gold foil. I think there's one in the Kobe Bryant ones that I'll be doing here in a few minutes. But kind of fun, It's supposed to be a fun hobby. This is what I like doing to keep from thinking about work, because I do math all day long, and here's the other sticker. I like this one. I've been real tempted to peel that and put it on something, but I shall not. I did that with all my Star Wars cards when I was like 6 or 7 years old. Someday I'll get into the story about Star Wars, but this is about Michael. So love this. This is I believe it was retro. Love the nice white card. Great design. It's kind of funny because he's in focus, but the other players, which I'm assuming the Lakers, are out of focus. So it's really that's kind of weird. Don't often see them purposely blurring the other players to focus on the one. This is a nice card. Uh, just the design, and a lot of it can get a little gimmicky, or even detracting, but at the same time, um, they got to come up with something. This one's kind of weird. Again, in the collector's choice, this is like a stand-up where you can uh, it's a cutout that you can prop, and it will stand up by itself. But they're trying to do different stuff to get you to whether you want to call them an innovation or a gimmick. Well, that's what um, in a way the whole thing's kind of a gimmick, but it's fun, and that's what I do it for. I'm trying to get my hands out of the shot, but again, classic. I mean, the poses and are really nice. Mrs. SP has always been a favorite classic design. They weren't. I don't know about nowadays. I stopped collecting cards about 2005 at all. I slowed down because I changed jobs, and in the construction industry, you have times where you're super busy and times when you're slow. So my progression kind of went from diecast cars to sports cards to the state quarters and coins, which went into some silver. Um, I kind of realized I just wasn't gonna compete or be able to get anything special, and then switch to the or world currency. I try not to call it foreign currency because somebody from Canada sees the United States as a foreign country. It's relative, so uh, I could be wrong about that, but it's kind of funny. But MJ seemed to kind of go away there for a while, and then the biography came out on the series, and so it's kind of cool to see him back. He's always been a class act. Well, that depends. That depends if you were playing against him or not. And he's broken my heart a few times. I kind of grew up in Blazerland, so they met in the finals one year, and it was. Can't remember if it was Chicago that year, 1990. I graduated, and we were in downtown Portland, and the Blazers were in the finals. Again, the memory goes when you have years of history. You try to move, the shimmering. It's kind of nice to have the foil that seems kind of a little behind Jordan instead of kind of blocking him. So that's a nice. I kind of like it. Again, with more, they really kind of came on hot and heavy with the foils at that time. So, and that kind of, as I mentioned, I think in the Dale Earnhardt stuff, the racing series that seemed to be early in the year, and then basketball was soon after, and then baseball, and I think football is pretty much last, but the innovations kind of, they kind of, when they started doing the foils and the reflective and the I don't know if you want to call it prismatic or color shifting prism backgrounds with metallic, reflectivity. We're going to call it that today. Hey, reflectors. Where is it? Can't even read it anymore. I'm going blind too, so that's always fun. Upper Deck. This was I got really heavy into those, so I let's just say I won more than one of this card, but it's a nice looking design. And I think this is another Epic Jordan. This is in the set. I think there was 5 or 6 of these, but they have a lot of times they did a whole series of Jordan. I tried not to pull too many of those to show, and tried to have more of the main cards or inserts. But here's an earlier one. Definitely earlier 90s. I think they're showing a bracket behind. But it's a Jordan card. And then finally, a nice little collector's choice card. So I don't know if this is going to be a part 1. I searched through a lot of books to find these. So This may be part one, so stay tuned. Have a good one.